Recording.
Hello, my name is Russell Goldsmith, and tonight I will be discussing President George W. Bush's presidential address to the nation on the evening of September 11th, 2001. The speech was made after the terrible and horrific attacks that occurred earlier that morning. New York City, Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Pennsylvania all became sites of destruction. The World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and the foiled attack on the White House were all initial acts of terrorism. This speech is not just great, but historic, because it doesn't just address Americans. It addresses everybody worldwide who was affected by what occurred that morning. Personally, I believe that all of us, in one way or another, have all been affected. When listening to the president talk, you can hear the tone of both pathos and logos in his voice. He is addressing all of the media, the White House personnel, and every American, whether listening by radio, watching on TV, or both. It can actually be said that he was addressing the entire world. This is not just a message of grief and sadness. It is also a message of hope. It was a message to carry out and voice the opinions of what had happened earlier that day, and to let everybody know that they are not alone. When listening to President Bush talk, you can feel the tone of both fight and action in his voice when talking about bringing those who committed these crimes to justice, and the dedication of bringing closure to all who need it. And now, parts of the President's speech from that very evening. Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our very way of life, our freedom, came under a series of deliberate and deadly acts of terrorism. The victims were in airplanes, secretaries in their offices, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives suddenly came to an end by despicable, evil acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, a terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our country into chaos and retreat, but they have failed, for our country is strong. America was targeted for attack because we are the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and nobody will keep that light from shining. And I pray that they will be comforted by a power stronger than any of us, handed down through the ages in Psalm 23. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. With that, thank you, good evening, and God bless America.